track is where they are. Once we're able to add propulsion, we'll be able to operate at higher altitudes, and then also get them out of orbit when they're done. And, that's another strategy. Something we take very seriously. NASA in particular, wants to be responsible.
To add on to that, how much lower are they flying or below the ISS? Any kind of a range? How much lower they are?
Yeah, they're below the ISS, and basically, they don't have propulsion, they'll never get above that. So that's kind of the guideline. Is generally to stay below that minimizes the hazard to other satellites.
So you don't have a range amount below?
Not really, no. I mean, as long as it's below, and it doesn't mean that we can't eventually operate these things at that altitude and above. Just that we have to make provisions for how we're going to minimize the risk to the station or to other important spacecraft in orbit, and even to the ground. We want to make sure whatever re-enters and burns up does burn up and doesn't reach the ground.
Can you explain who's responsible for what? Like, if you're with NASA and Local Sciences has the rocket, who developed what in this entire project?
Yeah, the satellite was developed by NASA, and as I said, according to the standard that allows it to fly in a standard container, we're paying for this launch as commercial service, and so we're just in that sense of a paying customer flying on this rocket, and that's typically how it's done. If NASA's paying for a launch entirely, then we have the opportunity to get these secondary payloads on those flights as well. So it just depends on really who's paying for the launch. If it's a commercial launch, we're going to pay the fee for that rocket.
Can you, it might be more than to see it, but how much of the original cell phone is in there? Was it modified? Was the shells pulled off?
In that, in the two of the three, it's the actual cell phone in its case, exactly the way you buy it off the shelf. The only thing they did is they took the cover off the battery, removed the original battery, and wired in a bunch of external batteries to give it a longer lifetime. That's the only modification. The PhoneSat 2B is what we call it, is the third one. It's kind of second generation that has a solar panel. They took the board out of the phone, so they don't have the case for the phone anymore to take advantage of the electric space and weight that allowed. But in some ways, it's really easier just to leave it in. These things are, the way we use them every day, they have to be pretty rugged. So it's actually a pretty good package. It's been tested, of course, the vacuum chambers have been tested on high altitude, up to 100,000 feet. Tested on sounding rockets already. So this today will be a chance to actually get in orbit. It's kind of the final environmental test.
So how is the computer access in the phone? It's literally in there.
Yeah.
Is it using Wi-Fi or?
I believe they've wired into the phone for that purpose. And there are external other components. There's another component that will reset the phone if it shuts down. And then there's a separate radio and some other components.
How long will the battery last?
About a week.
So is it 4G, 3G, or 5G in
The
space?
mission is really only about 4 days.
It's Infinity G.
The other one would
Edge
last
network.
expected lifetime would be about 2 years. It's not going to stay in orbit that long.
Wow.
It'll be up for about 2 weeks.
Can you say it's a model of the phone?
It's a Nexus, Nexus S, I know is one of them. I think there's 2 different models. Again, my role is kind of overseeing the program, of which this is one project. and the team that put this together out of the Ames Research Center, most of them are now working on other projects, including these Edison missions. Yes.
Can you just walk through like a very basic ConOps for the mission, what it's actually trying to do?
Yeah, this is a very simple mission because once it's in orbit, the beacon will turn on and it'll be sending its own sort of health status, and then it's going to send packets of data. It's able to take pictures with the phone camera. We'll send those down. Amateur radio operators can actually pick up signal. There's a website that they can send data they get to. So this is just, sort of does it work? It's like Sputnik in a sense.
Okay, so there's no uplink capabilities to this?
No, there won't be uplinks to this. For the Edison mission, it's much more complicated. We'll be communicating two-way with each of the 8 satellites, and they will be communicating with each other. The goal of that mission is to show that we can collect data from each of their satellites using any one of them as a single relay to the ground, using one ground station, as a demonstration of that type of operation. So this is really just a test of the hardware. See how it goes. And to show that you can take a phone off the shelf, put it in a box with limited amount of modification, and fly with the satellite.
Because of the shock of launch, is there extra bracing inside of the phones themselves, or?
No, the phone is pretty good just the way it is.
Okay.
If you drop your phone from any height, it's probably experiencing more than it will on the space mission.
And any height, you mean?
Well, any height you would expect it to survive.
And you're from your hand to the ground, or from the top of
I don't know the exact heights, but I'm saying that in everyday use, the phone is pretty rugged, and these satellites have been tested for the environment they're going to experience on flight, and should be fun. And without any particular modification. Yeah.
The satellites were originally tested with the balloon program here at Wallops, is that correct?
Not sure if it was Wallace or not.
Okay.
It was research.
I'm going to try to grab it.
Thank you very much.